Hello and welcome to Martinsville, and this is definitely a qualifying session that people want to get out there early for so that they can get a clean lap in. Still waiting on that first guy to come out. Here he comes. It's going to be the '06 of Dylan Casella. So Dylan Casella first out onto the track. The sharp Aqua Sport for Roush Fenway Racing has moved his way up to 42nd in the points now. So a great job by Dylan after last week at Road America, doing a great job to actually work his way up the points a little bit after a great showing. Troy Kane just coming out onto the track in the number 60. He is up to 6th in the points in this race, or coming into Martinsville here. A great job again for him. He was able to get a 3rd place run at Road America, and that definitely helped boost his spot up in the points. Jonathan Zorline here in the 44s, currently third quickest on the board as he set his first genuine lap. Jonathan Zorline. I'm making fields all over the place. I think last season is what I'm doing. As Zorline goes up to the top of the board now. Jonathan Zorline comes in this race one of the bottom 4 in the owner's points for this car, so they will have to make it in on speed. Very obvious that will have to happen. As Stephen Paul III now goes number 1 on the board. This one, there's no real point in me trying to do this. Let's just do it this way. Alex Perkle in the 1, Juicy Fruit on board this week. 7th quickest right now at 19:41. His time still coming in a little bit. And now jumps up to 5th quickest. But Alex Perkle, not too terribly in danger this weekend. They've worked their way up to 18th in the owner's points. 19th actually in owner's points because of where the 15 is actually. But 19th in owner's points for the 1. And if the car hits the wall, yes, they'll come down to pit road and go into garage area, but that will not be worthy of a backup car. They will actually have to wreck. Zorline now up to number 1 on the board. But Alex Perkle doing a good job. He's down to 8th quickest now actually in this session. Momo Akari looking for a clean lap right now. Right now her best lap is a 30:46. Might be able to get it there as Kazuyoshi and Collins came to pit road. But the Miller Lite Dodge finds their way into the 9th place in the points right now. Now up to 18th quickest on this board. Momo Akari though, not doing too good. She's been on a bit of a slide here as of late. There was a point where this car was top 5 in the points and has kind of slid. Now Gene Sanford up to number 1 as Momo Akari jumps up to 10th quickest. Max Neuwirth made the show last week, but it's not looking too good this week. 19.9 his best lap. He's currently 15th quickest on the board. Max Neuwirth still lowest in the points out of everyone, as Mary Shelley's jumped up to number 1. Max Neuwirth with his fastest time yet jumps up to number 16 on the board. And Akari jumped up to number 3. So Max Neuwirth still the lowest in owner's points after Road America. So not looking too terribly good to be able to make a show here. Needs to jump up a little bit. Still 17th quickest even after setting his fastest lap of the session. Will Lewis has not really set a good lap time yet, as evidenced by a 20.113. Currently 25th quickest in this session, now 26th. Will Lewis is 2nd lowest in the owner's points coming in. And so he will definitely have to kick that speed up a little bit if he wants to make it in at any point this week. Jeff James currently sits on pit road in the Aaron's Ford. They also slid a little bit last week, not to any fault of their own, just a tough break on being turned in Canada corner there last week. And they fell to 16th in the driver's points, which puts them 17th in owners. We'll allude onto that later when we talk about the 15 at Theo Stegall and where they are at. But that is the whole reason. Wow, a little bit of a contact there with the 00. Preston Plord, currently number 2 on the board in the hefty Chevrolet for Morgan McClure Motorsports. Just set his fastest lap of the race. Preston is 14th in the drivers and owners points. So doing a really good job here at Martinsville, getting a hang of the track. This is definitely going to be one of the rough and tumble tracks on the schedule. As he just jumped up to number 1. Kyle Matthews currently finds himself 21st quickest on the board at an 18.99. His last lap was a 31.11, so I think he's just coming out of pit. When talking about Kyle Matthews, you look at the guy 24th in drivers and 25th in the owner's points for that 09 team, as there was a wreck up here. I'm not sure who was involved. Hard to tell who was involved, but okay. So talking about Kyle Matthews, 25th in the owner's points. They slid a little bit last week. Had a tough break there with the getting turned in Canada corner just a lap after he turned someone else, ironically enough. We'll have to see if Kyle Matthews can improve on that time or if he'll have to try and rely on his points. Talking about not having to rely on points, doesn't look like Sky Commons will have to. And he's the guy 4th in points coming in. We know he will race, it's just a matter of where. And he currently finds himself 5th quickest on the board. A great job by Sky Commons once again, putting that car where he needs to on the speed charts to not have to rely on the backup car. And oh, Brennan Patterson got clipped, or got on the wall and clipped the 10. So an interesting thing there. DJ Curtis back out. He's 19th quickest right now. And this is the car that finds himself 10th in the points coming in. Again, Chevrolet not looking terribly quick yet for DJ. We'll have to see if he can improve at some point in this session. And like I said, we would talk about Theo here at least at some point. Sam Curtis has jumped up to number 2, just 1,000th of a second slower than the 04. Theo Stegall, yes, he's low in the driver's points because he's only run a few races. But with the way that that team has run with Theo in the car, they've worked their way up to 15th in the owner's points. A great job by Theo Stegall and the number 15 team this season. Mason Powers currently 26th quickest. That's not going to be good enough to get into the show. Trying to find his own little spot on the track to run a quick lap, maybe get the draft up to 55. Yeah, draft does not really pan out too much at this track though. Mason Powers did a good job at working his way up through the field and gaining some spots in the points last week, but right now the speed just not there for the number 16. Let's see if this lap's any quicker here before we talk about the next car. No. Brian Patterson, currently 18th quickest. And that's the car that's 24th in owner's points coming in, the best of the Roush cars this season. But right now, Patterson not showing too much speed. He's 23rd in the driver's points coming into this race. Jake Bassinger just coming back out. He's run 13 laps in this session. Currently, his best lap is an 18.93, which puts him 21st quick. And Bassinger has to make it in on speed if he's going to race. Obviously, this lap not going to be any good, really, for Bassinger. He just went behind the wall and brought back out. But it does ruin Sky Commons' lap. Ben Newark just ran his fast lap of the session, but it's only good enough for 28th quickest. 19:30. Ben Newark also has to make it in on his speed. Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay, he's 40th in the points. He essentially has to make it in on speed. 40th in the points is not going to be good enough to make this race. I can honestly tell you that. Chris Louvier currently behind the wall. We'll talk about him later. Kyle Collins, currently the slowest guy in town right now. So definitely not good enough right now for Kyle Collins. And that's a team that would be fairly borderline, I guess. Kind of depends on where they're at in the points. Yeah, 31st. So yeah, Collins would be borderline on points. He just ran his fast lap of the session though. Stephen Paul III, currently 7th quickest at an 18.79. He just ran his fastest lap of the session. Pollard, 19th in the drivers, 20th in the owner's points. has won 2 of the last 3 races this season, so definitely no one hotter than this 33 team right now in terms of momentum. Mary Shelley, we'll talk about her later. Jessica Shelton finds herself 9th quickest right now, and this car is 37th in the owner's points, so definitely needing to be high on the speed charts if they were going to be able to do anything good here. How about our points leader, Tom Shelley, the Schwann's Dodge this week. And currently 13th quickest on the board, so definitely looking a lot better this week than it did last week. But Tom Shelley still not getting the best of speed out of his car this week. Was able to somehow manage to hang on to the points lead though after a dismal run at Road America, but Dylan Young just came up 1 spot short of being able to take over the points lead. Literally is 1 point behind Tom Shelley. We've mentioned the name, but we haven't talked about Gene Sanford yet, the Domino's Dodge. Currently 3rd quickest on the board and 8th in the points coming in, so Gene Sanford doing a great job this season. Roshi Kazuyoshi currently finds himself 6th quickest on the board. That'd be good enough to lock his way into this race, which would be bad news for Dylan Casella, except for the fact that Casella is 18th quickest. So Kazuyoshi doing a good job, needs to qualify in on speed just like he has all season long. Oh, Chris Louvier, we found him. He's currently the slowest guy on the speed charts, and he might have just had an incident. We'll have to check that out or something. But definitely Chris Louvier not having a good time yet. Sam Curtis, the Best Buy Chevrolet, 2nd quickest. And he also had to make it on speed. That would actually force Ashley Brock to have to qualify her way in on speed in the next group, if that time held up. Mary Shelley and Stephen Paul III actually ran the exact same time. Tiebreaker does go to Mary Shelley though. Alex Hawkins, the teammate, currently 5th quickest. He's another car that would have to qualify in on speed. That would force Ben Newark to have to make it in on his speed, who's currently 7th quickest. So there's 3 of the guys who would have to qualify in on speed that look like they are going to. Max Newark is 4th quickest. That would push up to Kenny Bale having to qualify in on speed. Ash Curtis currently 16th quickest in the bench warmers French Row Chevrolet. He too has to make it on his speed and currently would be borderline on that one. We'll have to see how that goes. And last but not least in this session, Levi McIntyre, currently 19th quickest. I think that time needs to improve if he's going to be absolutely safe. Currently 29th in the points. Not terribly safe on that regard, and definitely his speed not terribly safe either. I mentioned we would talk about Mary Shelley later on in the session. Here we are. 8th quickest right now for Mary Shelley, the M&M's Ford. They just used their first past champions provision of the season last week at Road America. And they are still 18th in the owner's points coming into this race, so not doing too bad. They didn't have a very good run at Road America though, despite being able to make it in on their, or making it in through the past champions provision. Let's check out. Oh, well, we just had a wreck. Doesn't look too bad, though. Until, like, Kyle Collins pulls up in front of people. As I was going to say, though, we're going to check out Dylan Casella, see if he can't improve his time at all. He's currently 19th quickest. Dios de Gaulle is 18th, just about 100th of a second faster. Someone just improved up inside the top 18. Newark did, but someone lower than that. Casella's still not good enough. And he's going to need to hope that he doesn't. Okay, let's see. No, not good enough yet. Oh, that's it. That's it. Times are official. So, the top 6 from this session that locked their ways into the race are going to be Preston Plord, Sam Curtis, Max Newick, Gene Sanford, Mary Shelley was the person who I saw jump, and Alex Hawkins. So with that, we'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back for group number 2 here in just a few moments. And we are back for group number 2. And the first car out onto the track will be Steve Pollard out of this group. Steve Pollard comes into this race 5th in the points still. Interesting thing about Road America to hear, the top 5 in points are the exact same in the exact same order as they went into Road America. I don't think I've ever had that happen. So yeah, the top 5 last week, Tom Shelley, Dylan Young, Amy Shelley, Sky Common, Steve Pollard in that order. Top 5 this week, Tom Shelley, Dylan Young, Amy Shelley, Sky Common, Steve Pollard in that order. Let's see what the first lap Steve Pollard can throw down is. And like I said, there's not really any point in doing the whole going through them like that. So what we'll do is we'll just go like this and find cars that are actually on the track. So, okay. Dylan Thoreau is the first car that we find out. The next car that we see out on the track in the Johns Mansville number 7 Menard Chevrolet. Dylan Thoreau currently finds himself 33rd in the points coming into this race. Having to pretty much make it in on his speed. He can't really rely on the points too much, so he's going to have to try and get as good a lap as he can to try and make this race and better his standings a little bit. Currently has Ish Taylor and Jim Casella right in front of him. Seth Cole jumps up to number 1. The time that they're looking to beat in this session is in 1874. That's the lap Alex Hawkins put down. Chris Washenau is out on track. Just getting onto this time, onto the clock now. The Car Quest Chevrolet comes into this race 12th in the points. Very safe to really make it in, unless something extraordinary happens like last week where 10th in the points missed the show. That was extraordinary to see. It really was. Dylan Young just a few cars back in the number 8, getting up to speed right now. Has set a lap, but I mean that time definitely not going to hold up for anything. As, oh, Dylan Thoreau getting to the back bumper of the 8. Dylan Young comes into this race 1 point shy of being the points leader right now. Literally 1 point behind Tom Shelley. If he could just finished 1 spot higher last week, he would have been the points leader coming in. And, oh, so close for Seth Cole. Oh, Ish Taylor trying to save it, doing a heck of a job there. A lot of damage for the 7. Well, not a lot. More damage for the 30 than there is for the 7. But Dylan Young gonna have to try and improve that time a little bit before the end of the session. Jackson currently finds himself in the garage area. Jay Stella in the 01, currently 4th quickest on the board in 1896. Time's still going to be improving a little bit. Stella has to make it on his speed. Charles Sanford in the unsponsored 05 again this week. They weren't intending to run this, so this is one of their non-sponsored races. Unfortunately, still looking for that key sponsor to come on so that they can be earning a little bit of extra cash in these races. Currently just jumped up to 3rd quickest though in 1885. As Washer jumps up to number 1 in 1880. And Allie Nelson was really close, 1875 with a 4. Hawkins was in 1874. But Sanford trying to get a sponsor there. They're 13th in the points coming into this race. Sam Young pulls it down to pit road and currently 9th quickest on the board in 1887. Sam Young comes in this race 22nd in owner's points, 21st in the driver's points right now. So not doing a too bad a job there, as Jim Casella and Charles Sanford just drove the exact same lap time. That tiebreaker would actually go to the 05 though, not the 96. Kenny Bale currently on pit road right now, 17th quickest in this session. As Sanford is in the race and he set the fastest lap of the weekend so far. 18.703 by 0.02 of a second quicker than Preston Plord. So Kenny Bale, though, trying to make this race pretty much in on his speed. 18th quickest. We're pretty sure he will be the next bubble driver. Or he is next in line to get knocked out should one of the Go Homers make it in on their speed. Mason Neal is currently 15th quickest right now in the 12. This car is 11th in the owner's points right now, so doing a great job right now for Mason Neal. Hasn't been an extraordinary rookie, but he's been solid all season long, and that's really all you can expect from a rookie. Matthew Marias currently 12th quickest at an 18.888. That's a lot of 8. Marias has had a struggling season for rookie. Has had problems trying to make some of the races, and right now it doesn't look like he'll struggle too bad in this one. But we'll have to see. Marias does have to make it in on his speed. Zach Preller currently the slowest. He has not really set a genuine lap time yet, as evidenced by the fact that his fastest lap is a 21.12. That will definitely have to be improved. He's 28th in the owner's points for that car, 27th in drivers. Tristan Wilhoit currently 5th quickest. That time will be good enough to make it in right now. The way it stands, probably will be good enough as he drops down to 6th quickest now. But Tristan Wilhoit had to make it on his speed. Looks right now like that will be pretty good and safe to say that he will. Ali Nelson currently 2nd quickest right now in 18.75 with a 4. I'm pretty sure that time will race unless some sort of weird thing happens here, but I mean, when you're comparing to Group 1, Ali Nelson should be safe to race right now at that time. So probably just doing a strategic thing of not running a whole lot of laps right now. Austin LaPlante needs to probably get back out there. Oh, final thing on Nelson, she is 38th in the owner's points coming in, so they pretty much had to make it in on speed. Austin LaPlante needs to get back out there. He's 24th quickest at 19.007. Funny, 007. But LaPlante not terribly safe on points right now either, because he's 26th in the owner's points, 25th in drivers. So that time probably not going to hold up, and he really needs to get a better, and his points probably not going to be too safe either. Checking on Ashley Brock, currently 13th quickest right now for the Sharpie Ford. They had to make it on their speed based on Group 1 results, so looking like they should be able to do that. That will be good to see Ashley Brock, the Australian, in this race. Daniel Day currently finds himself 10th quickest on the board at an 18.83. Went way up the track though there to compensate for LaPlante. And Daniel Day currently 34th in the owner's points coming in. So not terribly safe, but not terribly in danger either, I guess. Oh, we had a wreck up here with Henry Powers and Cosmic Nova, I think. Be interesting to see what happened there, but oh well. Eric and Rage, 21st quickest right now in 18.9. And Eric and Rage finds himself 21st in the owner's points. Oh, big wreck. That's going to be a backup car for Powers, definitely. Trying to check out the rear end of Nova's car. Yeah, that's going to be a backup for the 41 as well. So backups for the 88 and 41. Trying to finish up now on Eric and Rage here, the Hershey Chevrolet, 22nd quickest now. 21st in the owner's points. That has not been a terribly safe spot this entire season. Probably going to have to improve his time a lot if he wants to race. Ish Taylor currently finds himself 7th quickest on the board. And 18.77 as Thoreau just got the wall back there. Ish Taylor has had a struggling last couple weeks, comes into this race 43rd in the points. We'll have to see if that time's going to be good enough to get him in. Charles Jackson, one of our Go homers, finds himself 11th quickest right now. And 1881, all of a sudden the Go homers starting to do good this season in qualifying. Amazing. Ashley LaPlante looking like she's going to rebound really well after missing the race last week. Currently in 1875 is third quickest of this session. And that should be very safe to make it in. 16th in the owner's points coming into this race for LaPlante. Matt Dixon, 29th quickest. He had to make it in on his speed. Not going to say much about it other than that. Seth Cole, currently 5th quickest. He also had to make it in on his speed. He's the third worst in owner's points coming in. So doing a great job there for Seth. Cosmic Nova already proven that he'll go to a backup car. Currently 13th quickest though on the board and 1883. Nova is the 36th place car in owner's points, so speed was going to be very important for him. As the teammates nearly wrecked each other. William Duncan, 24th quickest. Ouch. 30th in the owner's points coming in, so right now 1894, not going to be probably good enough to get in. I don't think the points are going to be good enough either for the 48 as he just got the wall. That's not going to help. Robert Pollard brings out the Dodge this week, and it's not helping. 20th quickest and 1889 with a 4. He had to make it on his speed. Axel Casella currently finds himself 6th quickest on the board in 1877. So Axel doing a good job to make it in on his speed. 23rd in the owner's points coming in, 22nd in drivers. So Axel Casella doing a good job right now. They fell back a little bit last week after a poor showing at Road America. Eric Powers, 26th quickest in a backup car now. He's going to need to improve that time a little bit here if he's going to make this race. 35th in owner's points, going to be very borderline. I don't think it's going to be good enough. I'm actually shocked that Sanford's back out here. Figuring 18.7, you already know you're in the show. Why even try? No one else has improved on that time. And he's got the fastest time of the weekend right now. Amy Shelley, currently 4th quickest on the board at 1875. So she's doing a good job to ensure that she won't have to use a Provo this week. 3rd in the points coming in. That's a great thing for other people that she's not going to have to use the Provo. Henry Powers, 21st quickest. He'll probably have to use a Provo. 7th in points coming in. So it's not looking too good for him. And finally, we'll talk about Jim Casella, who's 10th quickest on the board. Jim is 32nd in owner's points coming in, so in 1879. Same exact lap time as Steve Pollard now. That should be good enough to make this race, I would think. I don't know exactly what 18th was in the other session. So what we'll do is we'll watch the driver in 18th who's not out there on the track. So we'll watch Mason Neal then, who's 19th quickest. Let's see what Mason Neal can do. Well, this next lap time is not going to be any better. Dylan Young just got knocked to 18th. I don't know what happened. Let's see if he ran his fastest lap. Yeah. So Dylan Young just jumped up to 18th quickest now. Ashley Brock still on pit road. There's another car we can watch. Let's see. Let's watch Robert Pollard. Nope, never mind. Henry Powers. Okay, he's on the track. But he's just getting up to speed. Oh, way wide. Jay Stella just got bumped to 18th. He was already there. I don't know who would have ran a faster lap then. it could have been Kenny Bale. Yeah, it was Kenny Bale. And someone just jumped up into the top 10. It was Eric Powers, the 88. 1878. So now Daniel Day on the bump in 1883, at least for the 18th place spot, which I have no clue where it ranks on the other group. Pause it, the screen will freeze for a moment here. Okay, there we go. And there was a spin, I don't know where. 1883 of the 4 does rank right up there. John Zorline's time would be good enough for 18, or not Zorline, sorry. Jay Stella's lap time would be good enough for 18th quickest in the other session. So right now it looks like Stella might be the bump speed. And 1883 with an 8 might be, keyword. Dylan Young looking like he's going to have to resort on a Provo. And that's it. Okay, so I didn't even notice that it was in the end of there.
Drivers,
so Charles Sanford, for the second time this season, grabs the pole. And it comes at Martinsville now. 1870 with a 3, looking for win number 2 on the season. As for the rest of them, it looks like Stella would be the last guy to get in on speed. And then it's just a matter of who gets the points from there. It certainly won't be Dixon. But, okay, that will do it for qualifying. We'll see you later for the races this weekend. All 3 from Martinsville. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you later.